I pray that God's word is spoken and that God's word is heard. Please be seated. I was grateful when I first saw the gospel I had assigned myself to preach several weeks ago, but not more grateful than I was yesterday morning. What a weekend to hear Jesus say these words. God so loved the world, not part of the world, not the part that looks and acts like us, not the part we agree with. God so loved the world that he gave his only son. I'm grateful for the pairing with the call of Abram. When we are reminded God does a new thing in Abram and Sarah, blessing every family on the earth through blessing this one family, and blessing them not for their own sake, but so that they can be a blessing, blessed to be a blessing for every family on earth. And I love that we hear this very simple story. God said, "Get up and go." And so Abram got up and went. His faith is manifest in action, which ties in beautifully with the gospel according to John as well, in which faith is an active verb. Faith is not a noun. Faith is not about our intellect, our grasp of doctrine. It's not about reciting a certain prayer in just the right way as a ticket into heaven. Faith is an active verb. Faith is lived as we follow Jesus, who is love incarnate, the word that became flesh and dwelt among us, the light that shines in the darkness, and the darkness did not overcome it. The same light that is at the crux of this passage we heard from John's gospel this morning. We can get lost in the beautiful, familiar bumper sticker, right? The one we hold up at football games, right after defense is 316, right? We can forget the follow-on in this important conversation with Nicodemus. The crux of the matter is that the light came into the world and people still choose to love darkness instead of loving light. And so as a marker on our journey through Lent, what a powerful invitation to ask ourselves when faced with the choice of loving, who and how do we love? And does our life, our living, reflect that? Are our actions reflective of the love of God in Jesus, the word that became flesh and dwelt among us, the light shining in the darkness and the darkness not overcoming it? Does our life reflect that? And is our Lenten practice, here we are, second weekend in, is our Lenten practice allowing us to dwell more deeply in this light and love? To claim more fully our identity as children of God, also called to carry this light and love into the world? And if not, it's not too late to pivot. We can keep pivoting throughout Lent until we get it right, until we have a practice that really allows us to revel in this love. It empowers us to live this love in a transformative way, in a way that is recognizable as children of God, children of light, children of love, in this world oh so desperately in need of that love. God so loved the whole world. We need to be gentle with Nicodemus. He's got a great character arc. If you enjoy Nicodemus throughout John's gospel, he's rather like most of us who wake up in the middle of the night with some questions for Jesus. Right? How often do we wake up at 3 a.m. with big questions for Jesus? And as one of my favorite commentators, Caroline Lewis, has said, almost nobody gets Jesus on the first take. We got to be gentle with Nicodemus. It's okay that he's got big questions, and it's okay that he keeps asking them, and he doesn't seem to get it. And he doesn't seem to get Jesus' double entendre around being born anothen, being born from above, and he thinks it means born again, and Jesus is not really no. It means embracing this birth of the Spirit. Even though a whole generation of us in the late 20th century were given this idea that somehow we needed to be born again, Jesus clearly says to Nicodemus that's not what he means. Even though that language was often used to exclude people instead of this radical inclusion we hear in this gospel. Nicodemus keeps asking questions, and so must we. Later, he'll go on and speak up for Jesus in chapter 7 of John's gospel. And at the very end, he will be there when everyone else has fled. He'll be there to help bury him. Clearly, Nicodemus continues to ask questions. And so must we. And I know we've wakened in the last couple of days with some big questions, some deep concerns, some hopes and some fears. Maybe despair, maybe praying for some light to shine in the darkness. So friends, as we engage this next week of Lent, let us indeed continue to hold in our heart the gift of knowing God's love. God so loved the whole world. And God did not come to judge the world or condemn the world, but that God would save the world through this love. And invite God to continue to show us ways to choose love and choose light over and over again till we get it, till our questions in the night are answered firmly with that voice of love.